Hello, trail travelers. It's Carrie, and we are checking out a new winch. This is a 13,000 pound winch from a company called FieryRed. Now, personally, I had never heard of this company before, and they reached out to me and said, hey, we love what you do on your channel. Would you test out this winch? Let us know what you think. And, if you want, do a review of it. I'm like, sure. I was getting a new bumper, the Best Top High Rock 4x4 Granite Series bumper. I figured that was a good time to put this in. It went on really easy because the bumper system has a winch plate that goes in between the frame, and then the bumper goes on. So you have a lot of room to work to get the winch installed, or any winch, but it certainly made it easy on here. Like I said, it's a 13,000 pound winch, so it should have plenty of pulling power. So let's kind of go through it. It's got a synthetic line on here, and it does have a wired remote, and it also has this little dongle that you can plug in to make it wireless. So all you do is plug it in where you would plug in the winch wire, and on the remote you have a toggle for the wireless on and off, and an LED. So not the brightest LED, but if you're trying to get things going on here, that could work. And you simply hit the wireless, and now you can go out and in. Very simple. Now, we've been testing this for a little while to make sure that it was going to work and that I actually wanted to do a review of it. And so that's why we're here. We're really going to kind of go through some of the things on it, and there's some things that I like and things I don't like. So let's do a little more testing, and then let's see what we really think about the FieryRed. All right, well, I tried to close this video while we were out on a trail, and it was just way too windy, so we couldn't hear anything. So I'm back here in the studio, and I'm gonna give you my final impressions of the FieryRed 13,000 pound winch. And in short, you have a very, very affordable winch that works. Okay, there you go. I mean, it is what it is. It's not a £1,000 or $1,000 winch. It's not a $700 winch. It's a $400 winch, and it's rated for 13,000 pounds. Now, in the manual, it does say that something like for every 15 or for every 30 seconds or I think it's every minute of use, you need to let it rest for 15 minutes. Okay, so use it for a few minutes, let it rest for a while, I guess. Doesn't have a high duty cycle, but it works. And we have abused it, absolutely abused it. On Pennsylvania Gulch, I had to winch myself probably 15 times. It was ridiculous, like 1,500 feet of winching that day. Never skipped a beat. It pulled the Jeep through feet of snow, and I'm talking like 3 feet of snow. Pulled it right through, no problems. Today, we were out on another trail. Some kids got stuck. We had to do some winching today. It performed. It did its job, and it did it. Did it do it well? Well, so there's a couple things to know about this winch. First off, it's kind of slow. It is not a fast winch. It's a $400 winch. It's not a $1,000 winch. You're getting what you pay for here. Now, as I said, it works It has the pull capacity, but it's a little slow. And that's a trade-off. Do you want to spend $1,000 or $1,200 on a high-end winch that's going to be faster? Or do you want to save some money and have a slower winch? It's a decent trade-off in my book. I mean, I'm going to keep it on here. I'm going to keep it on the Jeep this season. And we're going to see. We're going to use a lot. We do a lot of winching during the Colorado winter. And we're going to try and see how reliable it is. And that's the thing that a review like this can't show you. Sure, had it broken down the first day, yeah, that would have been a problem. The second day or the third time we went out and used it, that would have been a problem. But it hasn't. It's continued to work. Is it going to work for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years? There's no way of knowing. I can only push the limits of it, so far. I mean, if I tried to put 20,000 pounds on it, I'm exceeding its load capacity and it will probably fail. So that's not a valid test. A valid test is to use it in real world conditions, which is self-recovery. It's recovering other people. It's doing the things that we do with a winch and seeing if it's going to last. It's seeing if it's going to hold up. I don't know how long that's going to take. Might take a few months, might be the next time we go out. It might work all year. I don't know. So that's the unknown on this particular winch. It's $400. Okay, well, if it lasts 2 or 3 years and you buy another one, I mean, you can do that kind of 3 times before you'd paid for a $1,200 winch. And that's going to probably last you about 6, 7, 8, 10 years. So it's a trade-off. I mean, it's kind of like Harbor Freight, right? You might replace a tool every 5 or 10 years, but you're paying half the price. So there's the trade-off of cost and long-term. And the long-term on this is unknown. Now, in terms of its actual usefulness, is it a decent winch? Aside from the fact that I think it's a little slow, how's the rest of it? Well, the wireless remote works great. I mean, I've had it at the distance of the line, which is probably about 100 feet. Never had a problem with it working wirelessly. That works fantastic. So no complaint there. Now, I forgot one time to take the wireless dongle off and it sat out there for, I don't know, a couple weeks. Still worked, so no issue there. When it's on, it's fairly waterproof. I mean, you'd probably have to hit it with a high pressure washer or something to get any water inside there. So I'm not worried about shorting it out in the rain or snow or whatever. It works. I'm just going to try and remember to take it off so that it doesn't like vibrate off and it gets lost or someone walks up and steals it. So I got to remember to take it off at the end of the day and just put it in the bag. Okay, that's no big deal. There's other high-end winches that work the same way with a little removable dongle. So I can't knock it for that. Now, the one thing I am going to knock it for, and to me, there's no real excuse for this, and that's the clutch handle. If you look at the sticker that's on there, it says the down position is disengaged and the up position is engaged. It's exactly opposite. If you want to pull the line out, you flip the lever up, not push it down. So either there's a language thing and they got it wrong, or they just totally screwed up and it's printed wrong on there, but that is incorrect. The sticker on the winch is incorrect. The second thing about it is when it is in free spool, it's pretty hard to pull the line out. It takes some effort. I end up just hitting out on the remote and spooling it out because trying to pull it free spool, that's a chore in and of itself. So that's a downside to it. Now, what do we have on the plus side? Low cost, $400, 13,000 pound capacity. Easy to install, just like every other winch is easy to install, and it has proven itself to work. On the con side, well, we have the speed of retrieval, which is pretty slow. We have the mislabeling of the label on the clutch there. And we have the difficulty in free spooling the winch out. So I think the negatives are pretty low for this price point. The next step up is going to be in this $700 range with something like a Smittybilt X2 or X3, somewhere in that ballpark. You're gonna be $700, $800. You can almost double in price to get the next level up. And my experience with the Smittybilt Gen 2 X20, I was very happy with it. The speed was good, the performance was great, the reliability was great, worked fantastic. But it's twice the price. Then you can, almost not quite, well, from the price of the FieryRed, you can almost triple that price and get into a Warn. And again, you're gonna have the same things. It's gonna be easy to free spool. The clutch is gonna be labeled properly. It's gonna have a faster retrieval. Okay, fine. Do you truly get what you pay for? Is that Warn winch at $1,200 really 3 times the winch that the FieryRed is? I don't know. Where this is going to play out is long term. If the FieryRed winch is going to last for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, well then yeah, it's a great value. If it's going to last for 6 years, 5 years, it's still a great value. If it's going to last for a season, it's not a good value. But we don't know. So we're going to continue to work with the FieryRed winch. We are going to use it the same way we use everything else, which is fairly harsh in these, Colorado conditions. It's going to be in mud, it's going to be in snow, it's going to be in rain. It's going to be all over the place, and we are going to really use it it's on our Jeep, so it's there. We have to use it if we need something. So we're going to put it to the test. So here's my short-term review. I think it's worth it. I think the price is great. I think the negatives on it are pretty insignificant, and maybe sometime down the road, we'll do a long-term review and see where we stand on the FieryRed winch, if and when it fails. Or maybe we'll just do a long-term review after 6, 9 months or a year, something like that, and we'll see how it's going. But for now, I think it looks like it's going to hold up. We've abused it pretty heavily. It's still rolling. So thanks, FieryRed, for sending it to us. I think we're pretty happy with it. Wish it was faster, but what can you do for 400 bucks? Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Kerry with Trail Traveler. We really appreciate you liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Hit that bell icon. You get notified whenever we put out a video, which is about twice a week. We usually have a technical video and a trail video. So thanks for watching. Be safe out there. We'll see you on the trail.